These 3 exercises are what you should focus on, and you don't have to spend an hour doing them. Hey guys, Mark McKillier here with Live Anabolic, and I put together what I think are the 3 best exercises for really busy men who really just don't have the time to do a full-blown comprehensive workout program. The 3 exercises actually target and hit the 3 major muscle groups in your body. I'm going to show them to you in just a minute. But guys, you really can accomplish a fair amount just with these 3 exercises in only about 15 minutes, all right? Now, one thing, I don't want these 3 exercises to be what you do for the rest of your life, all right? This is not a comprehensive workout program, all right? I want you to strive to find the time to do a really well thought out workout program that's, 4 or 5 days a week and typically 45 minutes or longer, okay? So that's the goal. But I realize some of you guys get into these periods in your life, and it's typically work related, all right, where you have to go weeks, sometimes months at a time, where you're just swamped. There's just no way you can get to the gym, or just no way you can come home and dedicate 45 minutes or an hour, 4 or 5 days a week, all right? But you still feel like you need to do something, and you do, all right? So today's video is going to be what I've decided are the 3 best exercises that hit the most muscle groups, all right, in the least amount of time. And one thing you're going to notice is that all 3 exercises are compound movements, meaning we're using multiple muscles and multiple joints, all right, when we're doing each exercise. So there's no concentration curls. There's no isolation movements. These are all big compound movements because that's where you get the best bang for your buck. So these 3 exercises are going to use dumbbells and resistance bands, okay? So the first exercise is an incline dumbbell bench press. Now guys, the reason this is so great is because it gets a ton of muscles. All right, so yes, it primarily focuses on our chest, but we're also using our shoulders and our triceps when we're pressing the dumbbells. So that's what makes it a compound movement, all right? So you get a lot accomplished with this exercise, and when it comes to your upper body, this would be the single best upper body exercise you can do, especially if you're really swamped for time, just unable to do the other upper body exercise I'm going to show you. All right, boom, boom. Now I'm using a really lightweight here, guys, just so I can talk to you while I'm performing the exercise. And the thing is, I want you to kind of notice my tempo and range of motion. So I'm going really deep here, guys. The flanges on these dumbbells are almost hitting my shoulders. It's fine to go all the way down if they hit the front part of your delts and then push up. All right, if your shoulders are a little worn out and you can't go all the way down, that's okay. Just go as deep as you can, all right? And then at the top of the movement, don't bring the dumbbells together like this, because when they're like this, the weight of those dumbbells is pretty much going straight down my arms through my shoulders, and my joints are really just kind of holding the weight. I'm not really having to flex any muscles, all right? So if you stop with the dumbbells about 10 to 12 inches apart, you will still have tension on your pecs and your shoulders and your triceps. And fantastic way to get a lot accomplished in a real short amount of time. All right, exercise number 2 is going to focus on our lower body, and it's called a goblet squat. Now, I'm going to show you how to do it in just a second, but when I'm talking about lower body, we're going to be activating our quads and our glutes, and to a lesser extent, even our hamstrings. The only thing in our lower body that's really not going to get activated much is our calves. And calves are a really hard muscle group to grow. Unfortunately, calves are mainly genetics. You can do a lot of exercise for them, but it's very difficult to add size in your calves for like 99% of the population. But this exercise is a killer, guys. And you just pick a dumbbell up, and I like you to hold it by the top and the palms of your hand, all right? And I want you to bring it all the way up against your chest, okay? So keep it in close to you. That'll mean you have more leverage with your upper arms, all right, over the weight. If it's out here a little bit, man, you're really gonna be using your shoulders. I don't want your upper body to get tired before your legs do. So bring it in here close to your chest and your stomach and get a nice wide stance. And we're just basically gonna do a normal squat, but we're holding a single dumbbell in this kind of goblet-like position here. So I go down and straight back up. And a few of the cues I want you guys to think about, if this is new to you, is at the start of the movement, right? I want you to just think, stick your butt out. So that's all you're doing. You stick your ass out, and you're gonna feel like your back is really arched. So butt out, and then boom, you just sit straight down. And I like to go down until my elbows hit my thighs. And that lets me know I've gotten a really good, deep range of motion. Better. If your knees and your back and your ankles will allow you, go down deep. So then when you come down here, don't stop here. Bring your elbows inside your thighs. You can go even deeper. And then the other trick I like to do is I like to pick a spot on the wall right in front of me. And I just stare at that spot when I'm going up and down, because that helps keep my balance. All right, if you're kind of looking down or looking up, all right, it really kind of screws with your balance, all right? So straight ahead, up, butt out first. And then when you stick your butt out first, everything else just kind of takes care of itself. Your form will just naturally be correct when you stick your ass out at the very beginning of the movement. If you don't, then a lot of guys will tend to bend over at the first part of the movement. So they'll bend over and then start bending down like this. And they're leaning forward. Then you're putting unnecessary stress on your lower back. So super exercise, works a ton of muscles, and it gets you out of breath. You can tell because it's hard for me to talk while I'm demonstrating this. Okay, well, the third and final exercise is a lat pull down. We're gonna be doing them with some resistance bands. And of course, this is a great movement for most of the muscles in your back. So your back has got 17 distinct muscle groups. And it's just a big, strong muscle. Now, when we're doing these, we're also going to be engaging our biceps. So anytime you're doing a pulling type exercise, whether it's a row or a lat pull down or something like that, you're activating your biceps because you're shortening that muscle. Okay, now, yes, you're using a lot of your back muscles to pull your elbows back, but you're also using your biceps to bring your hands closer, all right, to your body as you're making the pulling movement. Now, because it's a lot of muscles, it's a compound movement, you're going to be able to use a lot of bands. Now, this is not enough resistance for me to really do it effectively. So you guys are going to have to load up, okay? Even if you're fairly new to working out, you'll probably be surprised at how strong you are with this movement, all right? So I have to get all the way down on my butt, all right, because you need a lot of tension, pre-tension at the start of the movement. If I'm sitting too close to this anchor, all right, there's almost no tension. So the first part of the movement right here is basically no resistance or very little resistance. So I scoot away from the anchor, and I made sure that anchor is good and secure up there, guys. That's really important, because this exercise, if that anchor pulls out, it might hit you in the face. And that's a lot of resistance. Remember, we're using a lot of bands. That would hurt, all right? So anyway, I got a really good secure anchor point, and I've scooched back away from it, and I got a fair amount of tension already. But in reality, if I was really doing this, I would add more bands, all right? I'm going light just so I can show you the form and talk to the camera at the same time. So focus on not pulling your hands in the handles, I want you to focus on bringing your elbows back. All right? So the elbows are coming back and down. And because of the angle we're doing this, this is almost a cross between a lat pull down and a row. We're activating a lot of muscles. And guys, the tempo is important. All right? And if you can't get enough resistance, it's really tough for you. Do a lot of reps and then pause at the bottom for a 2 or 3 count. All right? And then slowly release the handles back up. All right, that's the eccentric part. This is the concentric part of the movement, pulling it down. The eccentric part is the lengthening of the muscles, and that's just as important, all right, in every exercise, not just this one, all right? So slow and control down, hold it for a 2 count, and then slow release up, and really try to concentrate that mind-muscle connection. I want you to feel it, all right? And the lats, you should be feeling it all through here. Strong muscles. So this is, I think, the best overall single exercise for your back. And once again, that's the focus of today's video. For you super busy guys that have just no time, but you still feel a need to get in a workout, these 3 exercises are what you should focus on. And you don't have to spend an hour doing them. Just really use good form, push yourself close to failure, all right? Knock out 3 sets, move on to the next exercise, boom. You can do this entire 3 exercise, 3 set workout in about 12 to 15 minutes. All right, so like I said at the beginning, all right, of this video, while these are 3 really good exercises for you super busy men, I still urge you to strive to find the time in your weekly schedule for a real workout program. And I'm talking about a program that Gary or I have designed that takes 35, 45, 50 minutes. Because that's what your goal should be, to be able to use resistance training for at least that amount of time, at least 3 to 4 days a week. Some of my phases are 5-day programs. They're not all of the 5 days are resistance training. Some of them are active rest days. And that's the ultimate goal, but I get it. I've been through periods of time in my life with different jobs where I just couldn't. There's just no way I could do a really good comprehensive weekly workout program. And I ended up just kind of skipping the gym altogether, all right? But this is a great alternative for guys that still feel the need, and it will make you feel better. Even if you're swamped and can only knock out a few sets, you will feel physically and mentally better after doing these 3 exercises. But whatever you do, you still have to remember to always stick with it and never give up on yourself.